your word means a lot. So if you say you're going to do something and you know you're not actually going to do it, that's hindering your self-confidence a lot.
Once you do hit that middle, don't necessarily just keep to yourself.
Welcome back, guys.
Welcome to the show.
Tristen had today's idea, so explain that.
I already forgot
What's
it.
going on? Oh my
I'm just
gosh, dude,
kidding.
this mic is gonna make me go insane.
You can fix your mic while I talk.
No, it's good. I'll just keep it low.
No, you don't have to like.
No, because
crouch.
it's not gonna go up anyway. So, and it's actually not in a bad position. It's fine.
You can just pull it closer, maybe.
I don't want to touch it.
Okay. So today's idea was the mediocre middle. I wanted to talk about. So we've talked about starting a business. We've talked about building a business. We've talked about our habits, success. We've talked about our mindset and how we keep focused and how we redirect our minds, all of that. And I was like, you know what? We haven't talked about the middle. And I saw a post and reshared it yesterday, and I should have looked at it before I started this to quote it exactly. But it's basically about the middle ground. So the excitement of starting a business and the thrill and the rush and or starting something new in your life is awesome. And you get going, you're like learning and figuring things out. You're constantly being stimulated by learning new things. And then you get it going. And then there's this middle ground. If you're a visual person, if you're not watching, I'm making signs with my hands. But it's like you traject right up, straight up. And then you kind of plateau and you're like grinding and having to do things constantly and being consistent and really working that business and like fueling it and like just the day-to-day stuff that once you get going is not as thrilling for some people. And then you kind of hit that before you hit your true like success story rate where you're like, I've made it, I'm doing this. Now I can actually like diversify and start another thing, or I can start investing big chunks of money because of this first thing coming to fruition. So I wanted to talk about like, I've hit my I think I've hit my middle almost. I'm still like ramping up and beginning like to keep growing, but I'm at that point where it's like, okay, now I have to sustain and now I have to keep things going. Yes, in an upward motion, but it's not as much of a climb. It's more of it's which makes it sound like it's not as difficult, but I think it's more difficult because it's not as thrilling for me, and I love the thrill and the chase. So now I'm at this like, okay, I have to keep doing this. I have to follow up with people. I have to make my follow-up calls. I got to do all these motions, organize my database, the things that you're like, crap, I got to keep doing that every single day now. No more like dreaming and whatever. So it does feel kind of plateauy. So I wanted to talk more about that today and see Delaney's perspective on it. My perspective, you kind of already got a taste of, and talk about different ways to kind of manage it and keep things moving forward when you hit that type of plateau.
Nice, yeah. I mean, for me, like, I would probably say I'm still in the beginning stages. Can you turn down my mic a little bit?
Up?
Down a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. It seems loud today. Maybe it's the headphones.
No, it was moved from when we moved it.
Where's the headphones
Are
at?
you number 2?
Can you turn the headphones down a little bit? Headphones is number 1. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Okay, sorry guys. So yeah, for me, I feel like I'm definitely still in the beginning phases.
For
like,
sure.
Yeah. I'm like, sometimes I don't know, but like, I think I definitely am. Like, I'm not like at the point where I've had like 10 clients and I need to just keep nurturing them. Like, no, like I'm still in the start. I've only had 2, like complete transparency. I've only had 2 paying clients so far and 1 free client, like one-on-one. So it's like, yeah, I'm definitely still in the beginning stages, but so yeah, I haven't experienced that yet, but like I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like there's still times in the beginning that you get a little taste of what the middle's going to be like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even in your day job, like we can talk about that, like not getting too complacent and like, and like keeping things moving forward while still getting things done that like aren't necessarily as fun and exciting as starting a new job.
Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely speak of it from a day job perspective. Okay, sorry. Can you change my headphones to go a little up?
Louder?
No, yeah, louder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Testing
that's way better. Okay, perfect. Now we're like back to regular levels.
I think I
Okay.
bumped it.
Yeah. So from a day job perspective, like, yeah, it's definitely. I mean, we already kind of talked about it. Like, I'm not the type of person that like. I want stuff to do, but my new position, like, that's really not what it is. Like, it's more like project based, like vision. So like, but you definitely still hit that like middle ground. I mean, I've been working at my job for almost 2 years, and it's like, just remembering and reminding yourself, even in the past 3 weeks, like, started the job off like, boom, we got all these goals, like, let's go. But since it is more like long-term stuff, I guess, it's harder to, like, you have to keep reminding yourself of like, okay, why am I doing this again? Like, you just have to keep reminding yourself of the vision and the goals. 'Cause like, for a while there, like, yes, that's what my job's supposed to be, but then like people were on vacation, and then I was getting stuck in the day-to-day task. By the end of the day, or like end of my shift or whatever, it was like I didn't even get to do like what I'm actually supposed to be doing. You know, I was doing other people's jobs. You know what I'm saying? So I think just like a big thing is just like reminding yourself of the vision and the goals that you set at the start. Because I mean, you're gonna have day-to-day tasks to do every single day, like things that you just have to do, like that are routine. But like sometimes we get so stuck in that and just the task oriented stuff that it's like we forget the vision, and that's when it can get really boring and like you're not actually moving the needle because you're kind of just doing the things to stay stagnant or just like stay okay, I guess.
That's kind of more of what I want to talk about today is like not necessarily if you're building a business, but even in your jobs, like just general, like you're feeling stagnant and how to keep moving forward while still getting everything done that you need to, and tips and tricks that we've both learned along the way. I think that's kind of more the gear we're going here.
Yeah, and I mean, I even think it's like not even work related too. It's like I think it could be in your personal life because there's times I feel that way where it's like I mean, obviously everybody starts the new year off like this is what I'm doing, and I've achieved, like, I'm on track, like I've done all my goals, but it's like still like not waiting till the end of the quarter to be like, oh my gosh, I need to do this because that's what I said. It's like every single day reminding yourself of that vision that you set at the start. Because yeah, life happens, but I've also learned that it's like just you have to ask yourself, what season are you in? Because you're not going to be producing and getting great results every season. Yes. It's like the harvest, like it's like the crops. They're not up and blooming every single year. Like it goes through this process. So it's like you just need to ask yourself, what season am I in? And am I planting the seeds right now? And if I am in the planting seed stage, showing up every single day and just like planting quality seeds so that when the harvest comes, it's like actually producing something.
And you still have to water it.
Yeah, exactly.
And pull the weeds.
So it's like, I feel like what this episode really is about is talking about that season, is like planting the seeds and just being patient for the harvest.
Yeah, being patient, but like also the struggle of feeling like you're not doing enough, or like keeping the attitude right too. I think is a struggle I have.
Well, I just made like a video about this the other day, is like just how like we, especially in just today's culture, we always expect overnight results, but it's like, and I like the hook I put was just like most athletes. I said that with a list, bro. I like put like most and athletes together. I don't have a list, but guys,
someone quote that, please.
Most athletes quit before it gets good, and that doesn't just apply to athletes. I just tailor my content to athletes, but that's for everybody. Like, so many people quit before it actually gets good. And what that means is just like, you don't want to be the person that's taking shortcuts and cheating along the way, because that doesn't build a strong foundation. What you're doing right now, the mundane things that you're talking about, like that takes time to build a sturdy foundation. Like that's why people say, like, when you're trying to build a business, like if you show up consistently every single day, you might not see results till 3, 4, 5 years. Like it takes time. And it's like you just have to be patient with that and understand that like what you're doing is moving the needle. Like, well, maybe not, but like ask yourself that. Like, but like it may not be getting results right away, but like the greatest things come after putting in lots and lots of work, not something that just happens overnight.
Yeah, and even like if you do have a day where you're not showing up too, like how to manage that and not completely fall off the wagon and fall apart because one day slip up, like you didn't get out of bed in time, you didn't, and maybe you didn't get out of bed at all and you didn't do all the things you're supposed to be doing, and like making sure you make it a priority to get back up the next day too, I think is super important because you're going to have those days where you're sick, your kids are sick, your kid's sick, like you just are overwhelmed or like just need a day to just, oh my goodness, stop, set back, reset button. I mean, everyone has those moments. Even the craziest of us have those moments where we have to actually step away and like, oh, take a day where you just, maybe you don't answer all the calls that aren't important that day and you push it to the next day. Maybe you just take a break from organizing your database. Maybe you just take a breather. Like sometimes that's necessary too. So I know some of you watching are listening to these types of podcasts and like ours included. You're probably thinking, oh my gosh, like I don't get to take a day off. I don't get to every day show up for your business every day. That sounds insane. Well, yeah, but you want to show up for yourself every day too, which may mean a day of rest. It may mean like half a day of rest, or like I'll randomly take a late morning and like, okay, I need to clean my house, do my dishes, do my laundry, like catch up on all the things because I'm so behind from working through the weekend. So I'll take like a Monday morning and do all that instead of working. But like I'll replace it later to catch back up with the work things too. So I will even like move my blocks, like you say, time blocking and stuff. Like I will even be like, okay, I have a migraine or a headache. I need to take a day of a break. So I'll like force it in there and be like, okay, I'm going to work on these things tomorrow. So like knowing that we are still human too, and we do need to take rest and breaks is very important if you're going to be in it for the long haul and not falling off the wagon and being able to get back up.
Yeah. I think that's such a big misconception. Like we're human. You're gonna fall off at times. You're gonna make mistakes. Just a lot of people, like influencers, don't talk about that part. They just show them showing up every single day. But that's not reality. Like again, we're human. We're gonna mess up at times. And the things that you just said, like, contribute to your business at the end of the day. Like taking a rest day. It's like working out. Like people implement rest days for a reason. Like it's because if you like literally were lifting weights every single day without taking a rest day, like when you literally build muscle, you're breaking the muscle down and then it comes back stronger. That's literally what happens when you lift weights. So if you never take a rest day and you give your body the things it needs to recover, then you're just gonna constantly be breaking down your muscles and it's not gonna get the time or whatever to be able to recover. So it's like same thing with us. Like if we're just like working every single day, there's gonna be a time when you just get burnt out and not even want to keep going. But yeah, I agree.
I've done that. I've burnt out so many times.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I don't even want to do this anymore for like a day or two. And then I'm like, no, I'll do it. I'll keep going.
And like you said, like when those times happen, like say you say, I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. this morning and then you sleep until 8. It's like, okay, like, yes, if you said you were going to do that, it does diminish your self-confidence a little bit. Every time you say you're going to do something and you don't, it hinders your self-confidence. So just remember that. But it's okay. Like it's better to respond in a way to where it's like, okay, what's the next thing I can do? Or how can I make this day still a win even though I didn't do this one thing? Rather than just beating yourself up all day. And then because you didn't wake up at 5 a.m., you just end up scrolling on your phone all day because you feel bad and you're trying to fill a void. Like, I mean, and I'm speaking from experience because I used to do that. Like, if I didn't do something I said I would do just to try and fill a void, just you find yourself scrolling on your phone or whatever. And then it's like the end of the day comes, you're like, why didn't I just not just keep going and like do other things? So it's really just how you respond to that. And if the night prior is when you said that, if you really like be logical with yourself at times. Like, yes, push yourself and challenge yourself, but also, like, if you know you're not going to get to bed till 12 a.m. and you're telling yourself you're going to wake up at 5, it's like, okay, like, you need rest. That's still a priority. So don't tell yourself and set yourself up for failure, because, again, like, your word means a lot. So if you say you're going to do something and you know you're not actually going to do it, that's hindering your self-confidence a lot.
I've done that so many times.
Yeah.
And then I beat myself up and I'm like, gosh, this is terrible. But all good things that you said there. Like, rest is so important, and getting sleep is like my priority this year, because last year I didn't sleep like ever. I think I averaged like 6 hours maybe a night last year.
Oh my gosh. That's horrible, especially for a woman.
I know. And I felt like, oh, I have no choice. I have to build this business, and I'm doing the day job, and I'm doing the business, and then the day job, and the kid's up early, so I'm not sleeping until 7. I'm up with him, and he sleeps way better now. Thank the Lord. But yeah, it was just insane. So I never really got that full night of rest. So I kept feeling like fight or flight mode. And when I did finally like switch gears and only go do real estate, and I got rid of the day job and I was able to focus on the one thing, there was like 3 weeks there where I slept in every day. I'm not even gonna lie, because I was so burnt out. And I was like, yeah. And then I started to feel lazy. And then I was like, nope, we're going to start getting up and going to the gym and doing the things. And now that I can go to the gym during the day, oh my gosh, a whole world opens up of opportunity. And then even so, a few months later, I get into that groove again, or that slump where I'm like, oh, well, I got to work, blah, blah, blah. I don't have time for the gym this week. And then the next week I was like, no, like, stay on task. So like, I struggle with it too.
Yeah.
It's normal. And as long as you're like, nope, getting back on track, even if you take a week, a month, 2 months away from like your goal, which mine is working out, staying mentally, physically healthy, like, you can bounce back. And I think like making that more common knowledge of like, we struggle with it. Like, everyone that you see that you're like, oh, they're so successful and they're doing all the things I want to do, they must never be like me and take time off from things, and they must never relax and all that. It's like, yeah, we do work very, very hard. Yes, we are crazy to an extent, but we're human too. And like, taking those days and like a weekend where you don't have plans from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and you're actually enjoying your friends and family, that is so important too.
Yeah, and like, true failure only happens when you give up. And so it's like, the only time, and there are a lot of people like that, it's not entrepreneurs usually, like, or at least successful entrepreneurs, because they wouldn't have a successful business if they ever gave up. But it's like, your average people, like, don't take offense to this, I'm just being real. Average people who, like, you know, set their New Year's resolutions, all that stuff, like, when they don't complete them at the end of the year, when they fell off that one day, they gave up for the rest of the year. And that's what we're talking about. And then they're like, oh, well, maybe next year. It's like, you failed in January 2025 and you're not going to restart this goal till January 2026? Like, what?
That's crazy.
It's a year. Like, you know, you could just like miss a day and then the next day get back on the track. Like, so that's like where the differentiator is. Like, it's not failure unless you give up. So it's like, just keep going. Like, it's okay that you fell down once. It's just how you get up and respond to that. Yeah, there's some other things that you said that I wanted to say, but I forgot.
I just remembered something I wanted to say too.
Yeah. Go ahead, because I don't remember.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I do remember. So, like I always say, like I've said this in a past episode, but like I've said, like, to build consistency, like, say your goal is to read every day. If, like, you get home late at night, obviously, like, reading 10 pages is going to be really tough, especially if you have a kid to put to bed and just all this stuff and, like, just work, like, whatever. At least read 1 page just to stay consistent. I promise you can read 1 page. You can stay up for an extra minute or two to read 1 page just to keep building that habit and just keep showing up for yourself. Like, your best is going to look different every single day. Progress is not a straight line. But it's like, if you can just assess what your best is today and show up in that way, your best might be only reading 1 page, but like, at least doing it and keeping that streak alive, like keeping that going, is going to be huge for you.
That's pretty much what I was going to say is if your goals are, if you find that you keep missing and you're not reaching your goals and it's consistently not happening, maybe you set, I don't want to say this, but too big of goals for the time being.
Yes.
You didn't break it down into smaller, more tangible, bite-sized goals that we say. You have to break it down and meet yourself where you're at. Be honest. If you're not going to lift 4 days a week and do yoga once a week and run 2 days a week because your track record is like, maybe I'll go to the gym twice a month. Don't start so insanely.
No.
It can happen, but the
discipline that you have to be able to do that is crazy. It's just like, if you've never read a book, or like, obviously we all read in school, but if you've never read a book in your own time and you're like, I'm going to read 10 pages every single day.
You won't.
That's insane. You won't do it unless, again, you just have this gift of crazy discipline. But yeah, it's just start small, like read 2 pages a day. And then once you get that habit down, then it's like, okay, now I can move that habit up. So then it's like, okay, now I read 5 pages per day. Okay, now I read 7 pages. Like, just keep increasing it as you've built the habit already.
Yeah, and if you're unsure where to start, you can start by asking one of us, like, hey, I want to do this. Where do I start? We know a lot of people. Delaney's great in the fitness and athlete world. I'm great in the business, entrepreneur, real estate mom world. So, like, between the two of us, we can guide you to someone who can help you, if not us. Like, hey, I want to start working out again. I have not worked out in years. Like, okay, well, we'll talk about, do you have any injuries? And like, well, I used to be a trainer, so that's my go-to, like, going down the list.
Yep, I have an injury.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
an MRI I haven't told you about.
So if you want an old school trainer, I can help you there too, because I'm like super old school with it, and I haven't done it in a while. But yeah, so like reaching out to someone, anyone who can help you, that is where you want to go or knows how to get there, and they can help you like consolidate it down to, you should walk every other day. Go outside and take a walk around the block. Okay, do that for a month. And then add in this, and then add in this. You know, like, there's ways to start, even though it sounds stupid maybe at the beginning to say, I'm only going to walk twice a week. What? Like, why would I bother? There's a point. It's starting small and then going up slowly, so it's something sustainable. People, so many times, they just go gung-ho into something, whether it be reading so much or doing so much in their business every week. Like, I'm going to make X amount of calls and do all this. Well, how many of you done none before? Okay, maybe start small. Don't overkill yourself, because you'll burn out and you won't stick to it. I'm sorry.
And when you don't hit that, because the odds of you hitting that are crazy, you're going to feel really defeated, and that's when you're going to give up. And you're never going to do it again because it scared you, and you're like, I can't do this. It's like, that's why you just start small and build yourself up to that moment. Like, it's like literally anything in life. Like, if you've never spoke on camera before, unless you have some natural crazy gift of speaking on camera, the first time you do it, you're gonna suck. And even if you are good at it, you're still gonna be making progress through repetition. So it's like, that's literally goes for anything in life. And then also, what I was gonna say is, like, when you go to set goals, I've probably talked about this a million times, but it's just like a good reminder, is like, don't base your goals off of like what social media said that you need to have a goal of or anything like that. It's like, look at your values, what works for you, what's your schedule like what actually will work for you, that's like actually realistic, and not just this crazy like plan and goals that like literally makes no sense for you. Like, for me, like, yeah, there might be entrepreneurs that only get 5 hours of sleep a night or 4 hours, but for me, I'm dealing with an injury. My body needs sleep. I can't get less than 7 hours of sleep. That's even like bare minimum. Like, I need like 8 to 9 hours of sleep every night to make sure that this heals. Like, I just got an MRI, and there's like nothing I can do. Like, there's only things, like, literally the only things I can do other than just waiting is like good nutrition and sleep.
Really?
Like, that's literally about it. So it's like really nothing I can do. So it's just like, if that's the only thing in my control that I can do, it's like, I need to prioritize those things in my life and make the nutrition and the sleep fit in my schedule, and everything else right now is like second priority.
Yeah, and even if you're in like a job where you you feel like you don't have time to start a side hustle or a side business or a side hobby or working out again because you're working insane hours at your job, starting super, super small. So then you get that win. Like, hey, I actually walked around my block. I'll use that example again. I walked around my block twice last week. I won. It boosts your confidence and it makes you feel like you accomplished something. So then you keep doing it, and because you want to feel that good rush and that good like satisfaction again. And then you can start to slowly add in more time, or maybe do lunges while you're on your walk, or do whatever. And even though you may feel completely overwhelmed and already too busy to do something, you're fitting it in, whether it's 10 minutes or whatever. There's ways to do like little micro doses of things to improve your life. Even if you're in a very toxic job, toxic relationship, there's little things you can do that will make a huge impact, which you've heard that I'm sure a million times. But it's true. Like, I literally started walking with Theo in the stroller when he was like little baby. And I was going through so much at that time that I couldn't even buy a gym membership, and there wasn't one close enough that I could afford, really. And so I went on walks with him in the stroller, and I started running with him in the stroller, and it turned into my therapy. I'm not even joking. And it would put him to sleep. So thank goodness he was good in a stroller, and I got a really good one at my baby shower, and I still use it to this day. So if you need a good jogging stroller, I got you. But yeah, I was like, no, like, I need to get out of the house. I need to go do this, even though it's almost dark out and da-da-da. Like, I fit it in, and it got me going again. I was doing lunges, and then it turned into I would go down to the park, and I was doing push-ups, and I was, like, on the monkey bars, and he was laughing at me from the stroller. Like, it just started with literally I took the stroller and went around the block a few times. Like, just super small. That's all I had time for at the time. And then the next week I went further, and then I went further. Then I was going all around the town. Like, it was in Ohio, and I was just all over the place doing it every single day. Then I loved it. And it was like, it started to get warm out. And so starting small, even if I like have higher standards for myself, I'm like, I should be lifting already. I should be doing this. You know, that's what I used to do.
But why?
Exactly.
It literally all goes back to values, bro. It's crazy. Like, literally what you value, you're gonna do. Your life shows you what your values are. So if you say, oh, I value fitness, but you're not doing anything during the week that has to do with your fitness, you don't actually value fitness. You're just saying that you value fitness because you feel like you should, like because somebody's told you you need to value fitness. That's not a value of yours. If a value of yours is drawing, but you want to get more fit, it's just like, get creative and ask yourself, okay, how can I implement, I know that's like crazy, but it's just like, how can I implement this value of mine so that I make sure that I'm staying healthy? And it's like, just using that as your blueprint. But what I was going to ask you is just like, what makes you motivated to get through the times when things are repetitive or boring? Like, what gets you through those moments?
The goals, the things I want to accomplish, knowing that I can do better too. It's like, okay, it's hard. It's really hard, but it can either be hard and then pay off, or it can be hard and I stay and I'm mediocre the rest of my life. Hell no. I'm going to buckle back down. So I get like those surges of like, go get it, you know?
Yeah.
And when I'm down, I'm like, this is so hard. I wish I had help. I wish I had this. I wish blah, 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 blah. And then it's like, why? If I had all that, I wouldn't accomplish what I'm about to accomplish. Like, I would not. So it's like reframing how I think about everything. Like, I'm struggling for a reason. I'm struggling for a reason because I'm supposed to do something huge. I'm supposed to like start that nonprofit I've talked about for years. I'm working on it now. I'm supposed to like start these things. I had a really good meeting today, and it was like an amazing connection from a networking group that I filled in on. I like went as a fill-in seat. The things coming
Divine.
from that, yes, the things coming from
It's
that one
crazy.
meeting are like, oh my gosh, like it's gonna be some big stuff. But it's like, it's the beginning phases, and it's making those connections and then building relationships with those people that can help me get to that level because they believe in me and what I want to do. So yeah, super cool things. But yeah, if I'm down, I'm like super stressed about like, say, finances, or like being a good parent, and co-parenting is so hard. And it's like, well, I'm in this situation for a reason. Like, if I had it easy, look around at like all these people who grew up rich and had it easy. Where are they? In rehab. Like, and not
Seriously,
everybody,
yeah.
but yeah, most likely.
It's just like, what I'm saying, like, same thing with childhood stars. Literally most of them
Yeah.
are in rehab or something crazy. It's because they didn't have a foundation. They just kind of, like, had the talent and they did what was easy. Like, nobody taught them, most of them, like, how to build a sturdy foundation that would set you up for life. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, if you build a house on sand, it's going to fall down at some point. That's not a sturdy foundation.
Yeah, build it on all the stones people threw at you.
Oh, what? Drew, clip that.
I just thought of that. I was
That's
thinking of, like, what's
crazy.
rough, like, what's the a
Dang.
symbolism of the trials of your life, people throwing stones at you and, like, beating you down, and then build a house on that shit. Let's go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I just am curious, how frequently do you think you, like, ask yourself, man, should I quit? Like, is this even worth it?
Every
like,
day.
Really?
Yeah, well,
No, like, if that is, like, okay.
not today. Today was a good day. Seriously, though, it's so hard as a parent because I'm supporting someone else, and the support that I'm, like, the fact that it's not a for sure paycheck, and that's what I've known in the past, is so terrifying all the time, especially when you have a family, especially when you have someone else relying on that too. It's not just on me. If it were just me, oh my gosh, I should have gotten into building a business sooner because I would have been more risk taking. I would have been even more ballsy and even more insane, and I could have worked way more hours. But then it's like, well, I'm doing it because I want to provide and do better for my son and myself. But yeah, like, I don't know. Every day is hard. I will say, waking up, it's like, well, I wish I was a trophy wife today and I could just stay in bed.
Oh, man.
But then would I? Don't know. I would not. I would not sit there. No, I don't really like to cook anyways. So
Literally.
I'd rather
Don't
assemble
catch me with
furniture.
that.
I posted that too. It said something about being a single mom. It's like, or it was about a woman who, like, what do you bring to the table? Did you see that one? She's like, bring to the table. I assembled the table. I bought and assembled the table and chairs. I made the meal and I cleaned up or whatever, and I put the roof over it. Like, what do you bring to the table? Excuse you.
Literally. That's so true.
But yeah, like, every day is tricky. There's something every day that I struggle with, but it being able to, like, kick it in the ass faster is getting easier. The further I get along, like, the more I talk with my hands, I realize, and no one can see that in the podcast.
It's actually good to talk with your hands.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, it is.
Why?
Because it adds just more emotion to what you're talking about, and it shows, like, look at the difference when I was just talking like this, and then I just felt it when I was talking like this. Like, people actually believe me more because now it's more, it's just more connection, more passion.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm just talking like this, like, that's not entertaining at all. When you add your hands into it, it's like
body language.
That's why I love video podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
You can actually see it, but
expressions. I'm very expressive, so that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know if you were done with what you're talking about, but I was going to ask
you.
Probably not.
Go ahead.
So when you said risk taking, just if there's younger people watching this that could take that advice, what does that mean to you? Like, what you said, I would have taken more risks. Mm-hmm. What's that mean to you? Like, what would have you done? Like, what's a risk to you?
Well, I guess maybe not a risk, but more, one thing that popped up immediately in my head was living in a duplex instead of buying a house right away. Because I want to have more of a homey feel for my son and, like, a yard for him to play in and no people like potentially making noise or smoking next door. Like, I didn't want to deal with that, but it is a risk you take living in a co-living situation. So, like, buying something that was more of a risk versus, like, a duplex, a triplex to live in instead of my current small home would have been riskier, I think, with a child, because there's all those things that could be a factor that would be a nuisance or whatever. So that would be an example of something I would have done had I not had a child and I knew what I know now about real estate and investing. And we've talked about that in the last podcast. But that, or, like, quitting jobs to go on my own sooner is another risk that I would have taken way sooner.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you have waited till the business replaced your income, or would you have just done it?
I would have just done more side stuff. Yeah, I would have just done it because I can also bartend. I can also waitress, and those allowed me to make essentially more money in less hours. But the lifestyle that comes with that, working at night finding childcare, that didn't seem to be a good idea because I didn't want to come home when my kid's already tucked in bed by his grandma, or like I wanted to be present after the daycare hours. So that was something where if I were younger, I mean, if I were in my 20s, here's my advice. I would just, and you're a people person, or you want to learn to be a people person, work in a restaurant or a bar, and pick something fancy, something nice that makes you dress up, a classy place, because then you're forced to present yourself well because you're working in it. I did this. I worked when I was in college in a wine bar and I had to wear a tie. I loved it because I got to be classy. I got to talk to old rich people all the time. So why do you think I'm so well spoken? I worked in restaurants serving these people and trying to impress them and earn tips. Like I had to earn it. And I learned how they talk, how they dress, how they treat others. And like I talked business with the owners of the restaurants. I befriended the owner of the coffee shop that I worked at. And he literally was one of the people who pushed me into entrepreneurship and real estate. Ultimately.
Nice.
So like working in the service industry where you can learn how to talk to people, how to deal with issues with people, how to avoid confrontation with people when they're upset about their meal or whatever, doing that and building a business or getting educated on how learning from a business owner at the same time, because the waitressing and the bartending will pay your bills if you're good at it. And doing that, I would totally go back in time and do that while, instead of being in college, while working on growing a business. I would totally do that if I could go back and tell Tristen and when she was 20.
Yeah. I mean, I can't relate because I've never been a waitress or like anything where it's like tip related. But I have a friend actually, same age as me, and we were like the only two that didn't go to college, so we like bonded over that. But from what I know, I don't think she's like entrepreneurial, but she's very just like hustle.
Yes.
But she's not entrepreneurial. So maybe in the future
she might turn into one.
Yeah. So, but like by the time we graduated, I don't know the exact number, but I mean, it was like 5 figures she had saved up. Like it was over $10,000, which nobody has that saved up after high school usually. Which I did find out actually that one of Jimmy's wrestlers literally had like $40,000 saved up by the time he graduated. I'm like, bro, what?
How?
Farmer kid.
Oh, yeah.
So he's been working since he's like 13. I'm like, dang, bro, that's crazy.
That's
but
awesome.
Anyways, so yeah, my friend like had all that money saved up, and then she bought a car, like a new car with that money, so a lot of that went away. But she already has 2 bank accounts apparently with like I think like 18 grand or maybe more than that already. So she bought a car and already has a lot of that saved back up. And she like, we're just like so curious, like how the heck do you do that? Because she's also like hanging out with friends on the weekend, so it's not like her whole life is just slaved away. Like she still has time to hang out with people. I'm like, how does she, like, what?
Where's she work?
So I think so, like she works as like a preschool teacher, or like just like, I don't even know if she's actually a teacher or just like a person there to like watch the kids during the day, but then like she waitresses on the weekends, and that's where she gets a bulk of her money. Like she's like said that like one night she made like $500.
Oh yeah.
At a pizza shop. Like that's not even like the fancy. Yeah, I know, like crazy.
Oh.
But it's just like, yeah, it's just crazy. Like, I mean, again, I can't say that I've experienced that success, but you obviously said.
I paid my way through school.
And then her. So it's like, that can be like quick money. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, like hourly, you're not going to get paid a lot. But like if you can get in a good place that like is always busy usually and would pay good tips, like, that's like easy cash right there. Not easy, but like quick cash.
It's pretty easy. The more expensive the food and drinks are, the more money you're gonna make. It's a percentage. So look at that when you're looking.
Yeah.
It's a good little hustle. I mean, if I didn't have a kid, I'd probably do it on the side for fun right now, because I actually was offered a job before I went to Art Home Photo in one of the brand new restaurants, Dana's. And I was really considering it because how cool. That place is so neat, and you get to talk to people all day and make fun craft cocktails. Like, I love that anyways. So I was heavily considering it, and I was like, well, the day job is more stable. It's something to help buy the mortgage. So I did that route, and plus I love marketing. So it was like a, if I need to, I could do that, whatever. But yeah, if I were younger, if I didn't have a child, and I mean, even if I was the same age in my 30s and I didn't have a child, living in a city with cool, hip restaurants totally go for it. Work every other weekend and make some cash, and maybe just invest that cash into your business and have a day job too. Like, there's no reason you can't do both.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, that's so true. And again, like, just anything where you can get like cash, like, don't lose the value of a dollar. Like, if you can get money at the beginning, you need money to start your business or like to get it to a good place. So it's like, do what you can. Yeah. So what I was going to ask you was, how do you stay inspired without needing external results?
Ooh, it's hard sometimes. When you're working a lot of hours and putting a lot of your own money into your business and not necessarily seeing results right away. Like, there was a couple months where I didn't have a closing through the winter. I think it was like early winter. And it's like, I'm still paying money for gas and all my bills and nothing's coming in, but I was working on deals and getting that nearly $1 million home sold and all that. I knew it was coming, and it was so hard to keep going, because it's like, well, I could go get a normal job again, a normal job, and like still do this on the side and make sure I can pay things and da da da. But I was like, no, like, I fought so hard to get away from that, to be like able to do what I want when I want, to do something that's even bigger for me, for my family. So, like, keeping focused on the goal and why. Like, knowing your why, I guess it comes down to that, is like, why am I doing this? Why am I stressing myself out trying to, not trying to, but building a business? Like, why am I doing that? Because that's what I'm born to do. I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be, and it's thrilling, it's a rush, it's so much fun, and it's also very hard and very stressful and lonely at times. And once you start feeling that like stress, it's good to, I've found, like, finding others in the similar situation or 5 steps ahead of me is super important. So then I started building that women's group and like reaching out to my other realtor friends, like, hey, like, you want to get coffee? And just not even necessarily saying I'm struggling out loud, but hearing them start to talk about the things they're going through, and like, business is slow this week and da da da. And like, just like having someone who gets it in your corner, it was huge for me. And I started to make really good friends last fall and winter in real estate, and really making those connections strong. So I have those people I can call now, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And I may not even say that I'm like needing a boost of like motivation at that moment, but they give it to you naturally by just being there and talking to them and hearing that they're doing the same thing. Like, they're still busting butt too. And like, it gets better. It does. And then you'll have a day in real estate that's like complete shit, and a deal falls through, and you're like, that's thousands of dollars of commission that was supposed to come in, but it's like, why was I waiting on that one deal? I need to go get 5 more, so I'm not relying on one person to buy a house. Like, that's crazy to me. So I was in that mindset too, where I'm like, I'm waiting on this to close, and it's like, no, get 5 more going.
Yeah, like, do more than just like
The minimum.
Yeah, that would just make you manage, like, do excellent.
Yep.
But something that I saw like a couple weeks ago is just like so like mind blowing to me. I don't know why I've never thought about this, but just like, why are you so scared to take the risk when like the life you're afraid of losing isn't even one you like really dream about? Like, it's not one that's even like cool. Like, it's not the one you want. So why are you so scared to take the risk? Like,
I was for so long.
yeah, and it's like, if you end up losing the life that like you have right now, it's not even like
I don't want
worth it. Like, it's fine. Like, you don't want it anyways. So it's like, just do what you want. Like, so that was just something that just sparked when you were talking.
Well, yeah, you could literally die tomorrow. No, like, no hard feelings, but like, or not to like scare you guys, but you could get sick and die, or you could just get hit by a car. You don't know. I saw 2 car crashes today, by the way. I didn't see them happen, but like, people need to learn how to drive in the rain, first off. But but yeah, like, you could literally like die tomorrow, or not physically be able to do what you want to do anymore. And it's just crazy. Like, I met a couple at my open house on Sunday, and the husband was blind. He had a walking stick, a cane, or a walking stick. I don't know what they're called. I'm sorry. But he was the smiliest man I'd ever seen. I'm like, dude, perspective. Like, God, yeah.
And you can't even see his smile.
And his wife was describing the house to him as they walked through it. It about made me cry.
Dude, my mom sent me a Dalmatian today because that's my dream dog, and it's at like the local shelter. And it's a lot of Dalmatians, sadly. I don't know why. A lot of them are either deaf or blind, but this one was deaf. And they're like, but she can read body language really well. Like,
oh, that's so sweet.
I know.
Don't do it.
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I cannot get a dog even anytime soon. But, like,
that's so sweet.
So cute.
But, like, thinking about that, like, things could get so much worse tomorrow and you don't, or in hours, and you don't even know it. So why would you waste another minute doing something you don't like, you hate, you're not fully in? Like, I want to be able to go to the gym at 11 a.m. randomly, and I want to be able to get my kid early from daycare on Fridays and take him to my last showings with me, or be able to call in sick when he's sick. Like, things like that, it's so important to me that I'm going to make it freaking happen. Like, I'm not going to have to answer to someone making me clock in, which is fine if you do work well under that. I'm not bashing it, but for me, it was just, I've had enough. I'm 33 and I'm done doing that kind of stuff. Even though I love the work I did at my last job, it was so much fun directing, helping with videos, and I miss it. Like, I miss the work so much, but it's like there's something else out there for me, and I'm gonna do it, and I'm doing it. Finally doing it full time, and I can't tell you how relieving and terrifying it is at the same time.
Yeah. And something else, like earlier you were saying, like, to network and like get in rooms where you can connect with people. Actually, that might have been something we were talking about on our own time. I can't even remember.
Yeah. I think it was.
Yeah. Anyways, Tristan's a big networking person because it has a lot of connections. But like something that you should be asking yourself, or I guess you could be asking yourself when you're in a room like that, is like, okay, am I the best in here? And like, or like, do I know more than the people that are in here? And if you say yes, like that might feel good because you're like, oh, I'm the top dog in this room. But that's when you don't grow. You always want to be the person in the room that is like always at the bottom, like asking questions, because that means you're in a room full of people that know more than you, and you get to learn and ask questions. But if you're always the best one in the room, you don't get to learn anything.
And you're talking like if you think you're the best, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, even like, okay, even if you like, so say you're at a real estate networking event and you've had years of experience, you've had more deals than all the other people in the room. I guess that's okay sometimes if you're teaching the other people, but if you're just showing up to those rooms so that you can feel the best.
Oh, ew.
You know, well, just like some people do that, but it's like, then you're not growing anymore. You should always be in rooms where it's like you're considered at the bottom, because that means you have people to learn from.
Yeah, I thought you meant like someone who thinks they're better than others. I was like, well, yeah, they have problems, but
no, not like, I just meant like, I mean,
Gotcha.
Usually it is those people, but like if you actually look at it, like have more success or like knowledge than the people that they're in the room with. But it's like you should be in rooms where it's like you're at the bottom, not bottom like value wise. I would just mean bottom like knowledge or experience, because you want to be able to learn from the people you're around. That's the only way to grow.
So like challenging yourself.
Yeah.
Getting out of that like, oh, I'm just going to keep hanging out with the
Yeah,
comfortable crowd because, you know, they're not doing as much as me, so I feel good about selling more houses. Got it. Yeah, that's so true. I go in rooms all the time where I'm like, how am I even here? This is awesome. These people are so smart, so successful, so like in their zone. They've had their business for 20 years. Like, I love being in those rooms because I learned so much, even though I'm like the younger, which I'm not that young anymore, but when I was younger working with businessmen, I was like, I love it. I love talking to these old dudes about how they got going, how they kept going, how they run their business. That to me is exciting and like inspirational. And I'm constantly talking to realtors who are doing quadruple the amounts that I do. I'm friends with a lot of them now too. And I'm like, yeah, I aspire to do what you do. They're like, you're well on your way. It's like, I'm on my way. I'm still like down here, but the fact that they even take the time to talk to me and teach me things and like help me grow and learn, I mean, it's an honor, really. And I even used to tell Dana this, like, it's an honor to hang out with you and like know what you do, like knowing how successful you are and how hard you work and how much of an inspirational person you are. The fact that you take time to meet with me and talk to me and answer my messages, like that is awesome. And I continue to do that until I'm up there with them as well. And then, I mean, there's always room to grow. There's always things you can do, as far as like being in the room with even more like nationally successful people. And
Yep.
there's just so much you can do with the knowledge they give you. And I love learning from multi-million, well, I guess I am multi-million-dollar realtor now, but multi-billion-dollar realtors. And
Yeah.
it's like I wouldn't be where I'm at now if I wasn't so open to hearing what they have to say, what they do daily, what they think will help my business. Like my networking has been insane and I love it because it's like a way of life for me.
Yeah, and that all comes from listening, like you said. A sign that you think like you're the best in a room is if all you're doing is talking about yourself and your achievements. It's like you should be listening to the people around you, like shutting your mouth more and opening your ears more, like in rooms like that.
Yeah. And even like my mentee, he teaches me stuff every day. I talk to him all the time. And he's a new realtor, but he's also a very successful. He was a veterinarian. He's worked with people. He's worked with animals. He knows so many things, and he's really good with reading people. And I've learned this by spending time with him. And he did the open house with me on Saturday. And so it was really cool to see him like watching me and like what I do. And I was like seeing how he talked to people. And then we talked about it afterwards. So like we learned from each other there even. And I taught him like the things I've been doing that have gotten me where I am. And then he put his own spin on it too.
Yeah, there's always something you can learn from everybody. Even if it's like, even if the person has nothing beneficial to give you, you could probably learn from the things that like they're not doing right. You know what I'm saying? Like you just have to be open and keeping your mind in that learning mode all the time to always like that. I mean, that happens when challenges happen. Like it's that reframe of like, what can I learn from this? Like you can do that to literally everything in your life. Just like who, like based off that conversation I just had, what can I learn from that? There's something that you can choose. It's just like a lot of people are like, no, like there's nothing, like that's stupid. Ask me what I could learn. And it's like, no, you can. You just don't have that frame of mind because you're not being coachable right now.
Yeah, and even like you said, I really liked how you said what not to do. Like even learning from, say you're in a job currently that you feel you have to stay in because you have to pay your bills, right? You hate your job and you're just miserable. What do you hate about it? Start taking notes, start journaling like, hey, when I find my next job, I finally find the next move or the next career path, I don't want to do this ever again. Put it down. Jot down things, take notes. I actually, when I was like trying to figure out what route to take my life, I wrote down, like, I think we talked about this too in like the second episode or third, of like, what am I good at naturally? What do I enjoy doing? And what makes me feel like successful and like confident in a workplace, and like writing down those things. But if you're like in a terrible spot now, put down what you don't want ever again. Like, I don't want a boss that treats me like this. I don't want to do this type of task. I don't like to stare at computer screens all day. I don't want to be in a building with no windows. That was one of my things. Like, if I'm going to work in an office, it's going to have windows. So, like, putting those down on paper, and then when you do start to look for that next opportunity, or you should be already looking if you're miserable, and, like, learning something, studying a skill, learning from someone who's where you want to be. If someone's working in a job you want, start asking them how they got there. Like that kind of stuff. Start doing your homework. Don't just sit there and cry about being miserable. Start figuring out how you can get to that spot. And don't take another position when you do go to accept something or whatever. Look at that note that you made maybe a year ago. Like, I will never do this again. This didn't make me happy. Look at that and don't do it again. Like, don't keep repeating. I've seen this happen where you take jobs, someone takes job after job and they hate it. I'm like, don't do it.
It's just that belief of like, well, one, comfort because you've done it before, so you know that it'll be okay. Not going to be great, but it'll be okay. Like, you'll survive. and then it's also just that belief of I'm not good enough coming up, and it's like, well, I don't deserve to have that good of a job, so let me just self-sabotage. Like, obviously you're not
Yes.
consciously thinking I'm self-sabotaging, but that's what
Mm.
it is. And so then you just go to what you know you can do, when it's like you actually are more capable to do more, but you just don't believe that. So how do you feel character is like built in this middle zone that we're talking about?
Back to the middle. Character is built here because you learn how consistent you can be. So I struggle with that because I love, um, I thrive in chaos. I love random changes. I love change. I love things to be exciting and different and new, and I like learning new things. So I am currently building a lot of freaking character by staying on task and making myself stay focused. My word of the year, focus. It's really building that, like, yes, I have drive, yes, I have motivation, but it's building that consistency of I'm going to see this through. I'm building this for a reason. I'm not going to just change jobs in a year again. I'm going to actually, well, it's been a couple years for real estate, but I'm not going to just go to the next shiny object or the next opportunity. I'm going to keep going. So I think building character is like keeping that consistency going when it's not necessarily as thrilling as it was before when I first started. Like, it was very exciting and new and like, ooh, I can't believe I'm doing this. This has been a dream. And now it's like, all right, this dream is hard. We're gonna keep going though. We're gonna keep chipping away until it becomes, hey, I can retire early. But it's building a lot of character right now, and keeping consistent, I think, is for me what it's really building. I don't know. You can comment on that too if you think I'm building other things, but
Yeah, I feel like if you can see it through, like you were saying, and actually get through that middle process, you'll look back and be like, wow, that really built my character in the ways of like you learn to be patient, because like
mm,
in the middle you really like you really got to learn patience. Like, you will not get to that end result unless you're patient, because again, it's not an overnight thing. It could take a year of showing up every single day to actually see a result from your work. Again, it's those seasons, and just being aware that there are seasons and that you're not always going to be producing.
oh my gosh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's just like being aware of that and not being hard on yourself when you're not producing, and just understanding that it's okay, this is just planting season. So I just need to go hard on the planting the seeds. So yeah, it's just like, you definitely learn patience. I think you definitely will learn the value of hard work and consistency in that. And when you get through that middle ground, realizing that the people that own these big corporations or just have had so much success in their life, you get to realize that that wasn't something that they were just lucky and they got, or something that just happened overnight. That's, you realize the value of the work that they put into it and how much they really showed up to get those results. Because I mean, we talk about it all the time, like a lot of people like look at celebrities or politicians or just whoever, like literally whoever, and they're like, well, they're just lucky, or they're handed that or whatever, and they're just like self-pity. And it's like, but when you go through that middle phase of just like not actually seeing results but just putting in the work every day, you actually get to see the value of like how much work it really does take to build something successful. So that's another one that really builds your character. And I think it just also, there's going to be times when you're like really down and you're going to have to pick yourself up, and the only way you get out of the middle is by picking yourself up. So
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll definitely learn just a love for yourself and an empathy for others as well. And just because the tough moments that you're going to go through. So I think at the end of the day, just being able to break through that will just make you an all around better person. I mean, more empathy for others, more patience, just a great work ethic that you can teach others. And yeah, I think it also just, that empathy will give you the inspiration to help others that are going through that middle.
Yeah, and I'll add to that, like, I'm in that phase where it's like I've seen some success now, and I'm like, okay, I've been like very strict about, like, I'm paying off debts, I'm doing these things. So I'm not necessarily like super successful where I can just blow money on dumb things yet. So like once I get there, I'm not going to do it, but to have the means to do that, it's like, okay, that'd be great. But I could just keep my head down, keep to myself right now and keep grinding and keep doing what I'm doing, which is I'm doing well with the whole like real estate thing and like selling the homes. I have the processes down. I've organized my everything. I worked so hard all January, February, March to do that. And now I could just stay focused and only do that and just keep going in a straight line. But I'm still taking time out of my busy weeks to network, to meet with friends in the industry, to diversify my network. And I'm meeting people in different industries now too. And like making time to like almost like spread it out to where I'm not just staying stagnant. I'm not just using the connections I did make. I'm making more because I want to keep growing. And I don't want to just hit this level of success and like make enough to get by. I want to keep going, and I want to like meet all these different people and help with their like I'm getting involved in nonprofits now, and like I'm going to be on a committee for a fundraiser now, and it's only like once a month. Like it's not like it's crazy commitments I'm making. It's little things I'm doing to do good, give back, and meet new people and make more connections. And I actually might have another mentee coming and
Nice.
and it's like I'm like layering it on. I'm just layering it on. I'm not just sticking to myself and keeping all the like the perks of the hard work to myself. I'm like still spreading it out and still teaching others and still meeting new people to help get me to that next level. So I think that's something to note too, is like once you do hit that middle, don't necessarily just keep to yourself and like just sit there and grind. Like get out there.
I mean, like life and business is all about relationships. Like the whole point of life is to, you know, be around people you love. Like, I don't know if I've mentioned this in an episode. I've definitely made videos about it, but just like when you like somebody asked me like, what would you do if you knew that you only had 24 hours left, what would you do? And my answer, what I realized, and I'm like, what everybody's answer usually is, not everybody, but most people's answer is relationship based. I would spend it with my loved ones. I would go tell that person I love them. I would go do that. It's all relationship based. That is like what life's about. Same thing with business. To have a good business, I almost bet you're going to need to have good relationships. Like, especially for us. I'm a coach, you're a realtor. The way we get clients, relationship based. It's not by just like, I don't know, it's just not random. It's relationship based. And that's why building a personal brand is so important. Like it all comes back to like connection and relationships. But dang it, you said something that I really like. Oh, I remembered. Gosh, I don't know why that keeps happening. But like, for example, like your goal is to get a supercar one day, but then you're driving it when you finally get it after years of hard work, and then you're by yourself and you're like, gosh, this isn't even fun because I'm just by myself. And I think like those moments is where you really learn that like life's about relationships. So it's like, I know a lot of people on social media tell you like cut off all your friends and just focus on your dream life and all that stuff. And it's like, okay, when you get to that dream life, you're gonna have nobody. And it's like, yeah, you might need to cut some people off along the way, but to cut all your friends off, especially the ones that have been there for you since the beginning, is crazy. Like, you don't need to do that, because like there's no point in having a house when there's nobody in there to enjoy it with you. There's no point to have that car when there's nobody in there enjoying it with you. Like, there's no point in building this life when it's just you just share it with yourself. There's no one to share it with.
And yeah, and you're gonna find friends along the way too, that like they'll see you
if you let yourself.
Yeah, they'll see you hustling, and they may join you and help you, and you'll help them. Like,
and that's why like I always say like be open-minded, like just be open, because there may be people that come along the way. But if you have this belief because one person said that you need to cut everybody off and not have any friends during this time of hustling, if you just are like, no, I don't need you in my life, I'm so focused on this, that could have been the person that could have helped you build $1 million business. Like, you never know. So it's just like being open to everything and attached to nothing.
Literally, Shelby, she kept harassing me to hang out with me. She'll tell you that. She tells everyone that. She thinks it's so funny now. She's like, I kept bugging you to hang out. I was like, I'm sorry. I was like in the frazzled zone, like doing 2 jobs and all the things. She's like, we need to hang out, Tristen. I know we're going to hit it off. We're going to be great friends. Like, we met randomly at a run club thing. And she was persistent. And I love her for it because we built Boss Babes together. Like, it was the most amazing outcome. Like, and now we're best friends. So it's super cool to see, like, okay, I need to get my head out of my butt and actually, like, hang out with this person and meet them and see what's up. And then ever since then, that was last fall, I've been so much more open to, like, yeah, let's get coffee. I'll fit it in. It'll be a week or two, but I'll fit you in. And I'm going to save certain spots in my, like, blocks in my schedule on certain days. I actually, like, updated my Calendly link too and, like, did all that the other day so I can send it to people. Let's network. Here's my network days and times that I can fit in. So I'm going to reserve time to network because it's that important. And I should teach a class on networking because holy crap. Honestly, I wouldn't have my career in real estate if I didn't network. I will say that straight up. I mean, I'm not from here. I came from a different state over. I literally in 3 years have grown this network and business, and it's doing well. So it's like you had to, and yeah, it was uncomfortable at first, even though I'm a people person and I love talking to people. The first couple networking meetings of, like, meeting a title rep, meeting a lender, I'm like, what the heck do we talk about? You know, like, what do I do in this? I don't really know real estate yet. And it was scary and, like, weird. And I was like, you know, screw it. I'm just going to be, like, funny and, like, myself and just talk about my kid. And then that's how it starts. And then you're able to get more relaxed and just more open to talking to people about things. And it just grows from there. So just, like, doing that first meeting, that first, hey, I want to meet this person, can really rocket your career in whatever you're in even. It doesn't have to be real estate. Networking in general is just so huge. I can preach it all day long.
Yeah. Is there any habits that, like, or just one habit that, like, when you do notice that, like, you're kind of coming out of things or things are dull, that you can always go back to because you're just always consistent on it? Like
the gym.
Nice.
If you're physical exercise or exertion, if you're just, like, feeling blah, feeling uninspired, go for a walk, go work out, whatever your level of fitness is. Do something that moves your body because it pumps the blood through your body. It oxygenates your brain. It helps you think clearly. It literally is science.
It is.
It'll get you out of the slump, and you'll feel almost instantly afterwards, you're going to feel more motivated to do whatever it is you're putting off or, like, postponing doing. Even if it's, like, on a Saturday morning, you just want to lay there, get up, go for a walk, and then come home and see what you do instead. You're going to clean. You're going to catch up on things. You're going to start emailing. You're going to be like, oh, that one business idea. I'm going to research that. Like, you're going to instantly feel way more inspired. I've been doing morning walks now, too. And someone told me, like, oh, I always go on a morning walk. And I was like, I'm going to do that. Why don't I do that? I have a stroller. I'm always like, oh, I can't do it in the morning because I have Theo with me. I can work out in the mornings. That's a workout. So I put him in the stroller. And then literally it started pouring rain the last couple days. So I was like 4 or 5 days into the habit of doing it every single morning. As soon as we wake up, no makeup, nothing, just glasses on still, hair in a messy bun, put on a hoodie, go. And it was actually, like, by the time I was, like, sweating, and he's heavy. So it was a workout pushing him up the hills and stuff. But yeah, just doing a brisk walk around, like, our block, like a 15-minute, 20-minute thing instead of laying in bed another 15 minutes. Huge for me. And then since then, I've made more connections in the last week. I've gotten more leads. I feel like I was more outgoing and excited to be at my open houses. I was more inspired because of those morning walks. It's crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So just, like, get your body moving. Do some stretching in your house. If it's, like, snowing outside, just stretch on the floor. Stretch on your bed. Like, watch a yoga video on YouTube. Do something gentle. Like, doesn't have to be crazy. Just get your body moving. If you're in a slump, I promise you, it'll do something. It'll change something in your brain, and it'll almost always be positive. I mean, I don't think I've ever had they say you've never had a bad workout, right? Well, I've hurt myself working out, but I don't think I've ever had a bad
the only bad
attitude.
Workout is the one that didn't happen, is what they say.
Yeah. I've never had a bad attitude after a workout.
Yeah, well, that's because motion is emotion. Because it literally, like you said, it's literally science. Like, after you work out, like, you gotta actually get your heart rate up. You can't just go into the gym and then not do anything and come out and be like, well, it didn't work. And it's like, no, you actually gotta get your heart rate up for it to work. Like, science to work.
Has someone said that to you?
No, but, like, I I just don't want people to be like, well, let me show you, and like go to the gym and like literally sit in the locker room and leave and be like, well, it didn't work. It's like, well, you didn't work out, or like you worked out, like maybe you lifted like very not intense at all, and it's like, okay, well,
at least go in the sauna.
Yeah,
I've had days like that where I went to the gym in the winter and I was like in a slump and I was like not motivated at all, and I was like, I'm just gonna go in the sauna, and that became my excuse to go to the gym in the winter, was to warm up in the sauna. And then almost every single time, unless I didn't have time, I would leave the sauna and go hit the weights.
Yeah,
almost every single time. And my intention was at least get there and go to the sauna and see how you feel.
I mean, the sauna makes your heart rate go up, so
exactly.
Still, yeah, I would say for me is the same thing. Like, I mean, again, like it's probably like every other week, or maybe, yeah, I would say every other week I like get just like so my mind gets so filled with things, and I'm sure you, so it's like after every week you kind of need to like realign yourself, and it's like, yeah, like for me it's like going to the gym, or just even like I literally like 2 or 3 weeks ago did a yoga video on YouTube. Like that's literally just like sometimes what you need to do. But it's like, yeah, so moving my body, and then journaling for me is like a huge one too. Like, because it's like, to me, like reading and stuff like that, like I love reading. Like I'm literally on like a 120-day streak or something. Like I read every single day. But like in moments like that where it's like my mind's filled, like that's not a habit I'd go to, because honestly I'm probably feeling that way because I have so much in my brain, so just consuming more is like not it. So for me it's like when you work out, it's kind of like you're releasing things, and then same thing with journaling, like you're getting your thoughts out of your head and onto paper. So those are like the 2 things that like, yeah, would be habits I go to when it's like just feeling like that,
in that slump.
Yeah,
I was going to say, how do you pull yourself out? Have you ever been in a slump that lasted longer than a couple days? And how did you pull yourself out of that?
Yeah, definitely. I can't remember, like, I don't know if I've had that, like, recently. I guess the most recent would be, like, before this year happened, which is why the whole reason my word of the year is, like, alignment, was because, like, yeah, I can't remember exactly how long it lasted, but I would say, like, what got me out of it was just like realigning with myself, if that makes sense. So reminding myself of, okay, wait, why am I even doing what I'm doing? Like, I think that's good to ask, like monthly, like just to ask like yourself, like to make sure that you're still in alignment with your values, because your values will change at times, and evolve. And also just to make sure you're not living out other people's values. And same thing with beliefs, like, why do I actually believe this? Like, is this something I actually believe, or something somebody put on me? So just doing that and just kind of like asking yourself those questions. And I think just like doing the thing that you know you need to do kind of pulls you out of it. Like once you just do it, instead of just like, so like for me, like I last year didn't post as much. Like I posted probably more content this year alone than I did in the whole span of last year, just because I started posting daily. And it's just like once you have that habit, you just kind of like, for me, reading 120 days, I'm not breaking that streak. Like when I see that number, I'm like, I'm not breaking that. Like I'm gonna keep doing it every single day. So it's like just kind of getting yourself in the momentum, and like we said earlier, starting small so that you can actually set yourself up for success is huge. And then something that like I have a list where it's like, if you think you have nothing to do or you need like something to do, here are like things, do one of these things. So it's either like post a video, go for a walk, ask a friend to hang out, or read a book. Like it's like just that. Those 4 things. Like if you really think you have nothing to do, look at those 4 things, or journal like 5 things. Let's add 5 things. So it's like, and not saying you need to do all those, but it's just like if you're really stuck in a slump, pick one of those things, and I guarantee that one of those things will get you started, like spark you in some way.
I completely forgot what I was going to add to that.
Classic.
I know. I was thinking, and then I was trying to listen to what you're saying, and it just completely went boop.
I know. Like the thing about listening is like, you're not supposed to be thinking about what you're going to say. Yeah. So then I listen to you. Like I think of something I'm going to say, but then I'm like trying to really listen. And I like, when it's time for me to speak, I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot what I was going to say because I was actually listening. But it's like if I keep reminding myself, okay, this is what I'm going to say, this is what I'm going to say. That's not real listening. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I have to do that, but it's like not real listening. Like that's not active listening. But anyways.
Podcasting is hard. It's hard when you want to like add in stuff, but you want to let them finish. And then they say something else that like sparks something else.
Yeah.
It came back to me though. If I just kind of ramble, it comes to me.
I know, me too. After I say I don't remember, then it's like, oh shoot, I didn't even need to say that, and it came back. But
it was a to-do list, doing something. If you feel like you're not like moving the needle or being successful with what you're doing, or like you just feel in a slump. I saw this post on Instagram a week ago or whatever. It said, if you feel like, oh gosh, how'd it go? I'm so mad. Just complete your to-do list. If you feel like you're not getting anywhere, do something on your to-do list and get that list done. Like check things off of that list. Everyone has one, I'm sure.
yeah.
I have multiple. Just do something on your to-do list. If you feel like, why do I feel just like in a slump or whatever, it's because you have this constant like, I need to do that. It's on my list. I haven't gotten to it yet. And you feel like you're failing yourself. So check something off that list today. I dare you.
I love it. Of course, the thing happened again. We're like,
what?
Like where I was gonna say something.
Oh, I thought you meant to stop recording.
No. Like it happened again, as if like.
It's about to-do lists. If you're in a slump, what to do.
Oh, for me, that's why I have a whiteboard in my room, because like it's so helpful for me to actually have. So what I have posted, like written on my whiteboard, is like my quarter, like whatever quarter is. So it's quarter 2 right now. So my quarter 2 goals, and I have a percentage next to them of the progress I've made with that. And then also just for my brain, if it's 40% and under, then I have like a little red dot next to it, which makes my brain think we need to work on that. Like that's low right now. If it's 40 to 80%, I put like a little orange dot next to it. So we're like, making progress. And then if it's 80 or above, then I put a green dot next to it. That's just me. That's just how my brain works. And as you get to know yourself, you know what works for you, but that's just what works for me. So that's on the left side. And then on the right side is how I talked about in the first episode, how like you can't spend your energy everywhere in every area of your life. So like I set that at the beginning of the year of like, okay, like connection and relationships is like a 4 for me. So like I said in the first episode, it gave you like 20 points to be able to spend in everywhere. So I have that on the right side just to remind me of like where my energy is supposed to go this year. So like my top 3 are personal growth, connection, and health. So like those are all 4s for me. Like I need to focus on that. Career and finance was a 3. Adventure is a 2. Home is a 2. And then hobbies and creativity is a 1 for me this year. Like that's just what that is. Like so, because it's not realistic to think, let me be 5s in all areas so that, like, no, like, you can't spend your energy everywhere. So that's just a good reminder for me to make sure that I'm staying in alignment with what I said at the beginning of the year. And just, like, I set my goals kind of based on those things. So just it just helps me be in alignment to have those things posted. I used to also have, like last year, I had my core values written on the board, but now I've gotten so familiar with them, like I don't need to see that anymore. But like for you, if you just found out what your values are, write it on like a whiteboard or something that you see it every single day. 'Cause like for me, like which is why like in the office, we just got a sick core values sign in the office. It's so cool. Yeah, so it's just like for me, like that's not on my computer. Like, yeah, we can have that written in the laptop all day long, but it's in a document somewhere where you have to go and actually find it. Whereas like if it's posted up and you see it every single day, it's a reminder for you every single day.
I love that. And it's like putting something on paper or on a board or somewhere visual. Even if you're not a visual person, it's so important because then it's like you're more committed to that goal. You're more committed to that whatever you put down. So I've always been a planner girl. I have a planner every year and I get more like in depth with it and I find cooler ones or like better like layouts every year. And I mean, even going to your local Marshalls, they have some really awesome planners. I for a few years was just getting them there for like $10, and you can like plan out your year, your week, your month, and just getting those goals on paper. Or even if you're against that completely, in your notes, like on your phone, getting them down somewhere that's not just up in your brain, is you're more likely to succeed and more likely to do them.
Yeah, and I always say, like, the more you can get it actually in this real physical world, physical realm, is the better. Because, like, even, like, my lock screen, my phone just went on sleep mode, so it's gray. But I was going to show, like, my lock screen is, like, my vision board for specifically this year. And, like, yeah, that's great, and I love it. And sometimes I'll remind myself to just look at it real quick. But at the end of the day, when you're getting on your phone, like, you're just opening up Face ID, open your phone. It's like you're not actually looking at that. So the more you can actually get it into your, like, physical environment and not on a phone or a laptop is the better. And have it on both, honestly. But, like, really make it a priority to actually have it in your physical space so that you can actually see it and feel it, touch it, all the things. Because then it's just like the more you can activate all your senses into whatever it is, the better. Because I mean, even like when you're writing down those things, you smell the dry erase marker. Like for me, the whiteboard, that's just like a coaching thing. Like it just helps your brain. Like the more you can activate all the senses, the more likely it is like it's gonna be real to you or like tangible.
Wow. I love that. Yeah. Well, like my screensaver in my computer background is me and Theo on the beach, and that is a goal of mine, is to have a condo or something on a beach. So that's more like my dream lifestyle and goal. I'm constantly seeing it and I'm like, that's my happy place. I want to be there more often. I want to be able to go down to visit my sister more often. So like that is where I don't have like a vision board, but I have like my space. Like I want to have a place on a beach somewhere. I don't care where right now, but I know where. But that's like my end goal, and why I'm one of the many reasons why I'm working so hard right now is because I want to be able to go at my convenience to the beach. Like literally point blank, I want to go to the beach.
Yeah, and it's like just further set up your environment to fit like your lifestyle and your dreams. Because like when I lay down in bed at night, if I'm at my house, sometimes I'm at Sophie's, but if I'm at my house in my room, I look to my left, like when I'm laying in bed, and I see that whiteboard, and I'm like, see the little dots, what color it is, and I was like, man, okay, like how can tomorrow can I, make a progress in that goal? So it's like, again, just because it's there, like I'm not seeing that on my phone, but I'm like laying in bed and I just look up and I see that and I'm like, oh shit. And then like on the other side of my room, I have a bunch of like affirmations on my wall. And so just like if I'm laying in bed, it's just like looking at those and reminding myself, oh man, and then like saying those to myself. It's just like setting my environment is set up for success.
Yes, and if you are in a slump or in that like mediocre middle and you need something to boost you, and you go for a walk, whatever, you still need something. Going back to those things that you have written down, your goals, your vision board, anything like that we're suggesting, that's when you go to that. Like go back to your why. Why am I doing this? For these reasons. And everybody has different reasons for doing things, different goals, different dream lifestyles they want to live. But going back to that and looking at it and maybe rewriting it down, copying it onto another surface, putting it into your notes, putting it into your to-do list app, putting it in a planner, on the wall, like reiterating to yourself why you're doing these things, why you need to get out of the slump, is, I think, ultimately like the best life hack for getting back on track.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yuppers.
Okay, and say just real quick with that, obviously, like we said in this episode, is like you're not going to complete that goal right when you remind yourself, but it's like just asking yourself, what's one small thing I could do today to make progress with this goal? Even if it's 1%, even if it's 0.5%, like just some type of progress to achieve that goal.
One phone call.
Yeah, literally. That's all it maybe could take, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, thanks for listening to today's episode. Subscribe if you're new, or just if you haven't subscribed already. A lot of people like to watch videos but not actually subscribe to our channel. So subscribe. Follow us on our personal pages as well, because we post a lot of content on there.
Oh yeah,
both of us. So yeah, and as always, guys, stay grounded
and keep growing.